Right now this morning, providing more jobs, how Governor Evers is attempting to bring fired federal workers to the Badger State.
Hey, what we do have for you here coming up with a little bit of snow in the forecast. More about that coming up in just a moment.
And it's Foodie Friday, and we're on the road in Sparta at Hazel and Lola's Kitchen Boutique.
This is News 8 Now this morning.
Good morning, I'm Alexandra Carter.
And I'm Art Jarrett.
It is Friday, March 28th. You're running in here because you've got a lot going on in the weather world.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. Yeah, a lot going on. What I do have for you here, though, we're going to get into that light rainfall that's kind of moving into heavy rainfall associated with that as well. Storms coming into the forecast this early morning. We'll see more of this coming back again tonight. Possibility of some above normal temperatures despite the rainfall. We'll open up the skies, get you into some cloudier conditions, and some temperatures will survive, getting into at least those low 80s as well as some 70s. Look at the rainfall we picked up. This started across the Mississippi River just around the 3 o'clock hour. You can see this continue on. Light rainfall to at least heavy rainfall associated with this now, really starting to pick up with another line developing right here. We'll start to see that from Dubuque all the way up to areas going towards Madison. So they're in it. Even Eau Claire is in it right now. They're picking up a little bit of rainfall. It is light to moderate to possibly heavy at times. The big spread well up to the north, that'll eventually start to sag down as another batch of that starts to work into the forecast for us. We do have our marginal risk for severe weather for today, I should say for tonight, coming in from the evening hours all the way into tomorrow. There's a look at the rainfall right now. That's over in Onalaska. That continues on. But take a look at Eau Claire. You can see the rainfall. And some of it was still going pretty well as we went back at that light right there. But it looks like they've got some wet roads to start their commute. Getting into current temperatures, 30s, 40s. And of course, we see temperatures near 50 degrees. We'll also see as we get into it, that rainfall will skedaddle by the time we get in the 9 o'clock hour and out of the area. But we'll come back with more rainfall later on tonight. Back to you.
Thank you. Our Interstate 94 near Black River Falls is closed right now due to a semi-fire. As we take a live look at the scene, you can see the fire there. According to WSDOT, it broke out just after 5 a.m., shutting down all lanes between U.S. Route 12 and County Road O. WSDOT expects the interstate will be closed for about 2 hours. Drivers should exit onto County Road O and take U.S. Route 12 north until it reconnects with I-94. State Patrol is on scene. Major road work is expected to delay travel on Highway 16 early next month. Work on 16 between La Crosse Street and the mall is going to reduce lanes to two-way traffic starting April 7th. The project is expected to last through the summer and will address road resurfacing. It is life in prison for the Minnesota man accused in a 50-year-old Dunn County cold case. 84-year-old John Miller pleaded no contest to the murder of Mary Shalais. She was hitchhiking from Minneapolis to Chicago in 1974 when Miller picked her up, stabbed her multiple times, and hid her body in a snowbank. DNA research broke the cold case last year.
This case is a reminder that justice has no time limit, and to families still searching for the truth, let Mary's story be a testament that persistence, science, and dedication can bring long-awaited closure.
Miller did not make a statement in court. One of 3 accused in a Northside shooting will face a preliminary hearing this morning. 19-year-old Jason Moran, along with an unnamed 13-year-old and 16-year-old, are all accused of attempted first-degree intentional homicide. On March 9th, police responded to a fight on the north side of La Crosse, where they found a victim with a gunshot wound. Moran's preliminary hearing starts at 11 this morning. An Iowa man faces animal neglect charges after police discovered dead dogs during a welfare check. Waukon authorities made the discovery Wednesday. The Allamakee County Sheriff found 10 dogs. 2 were dead. 28-year-old Nathaniel Coleman had an active warrant. He is charged now with animal neglect, inadequate commercial care, and drug possession. The surviving dogs are now at a Decorah Humane Society. Turning now to some breaking news overnight, at least 6 people are dead after 2 violent earthquakes rocked Thailand and Myanmar overnight. The region was hit by a 7.7 magnitude quake, followed by a 6.4 aftershock just 12 minutes later. Several buildings collapsed in Myanmar's second largest city, Mandalay. And taking a live look at Bangkok this morning, crews here are still working to rescue workers. Dozens, I think 80 something at last check, were still missing. You see here traffic backups, a lot of chaos going on this morning, several sites after the earthquake. And we have learned that 3 of the 6 killed were from this site. One tourist told reporters what he saw while shopping in the capital.
A lot of screaming, a lot of panic, people running the wrong way down the escalators, like lots of banging and crashing inside the mall. I got outside and then looked up at the building, that one there, and this whole building was just moving, dust and debris. It was pretty intense.
Thailand's prime minister has issued a state of emergency for the city of 17 million people. We'll continue to monitor the situation and bring you updates throughout the day. Continued fallout, meanwhile, over the leak of military plans on non-government messaging app Signal. A federal judge ordering the Trump administration not to delete any of the messages in the text thread amid a new lawsuit. Meanwhile, the Trump administration is working to overhaul a crucial agency, slashing thousands of jobs from Health and Human Services. CBS's Jared Hill reports.
Major changes at the U.S. Health Department.
We're going to streamline HHS.
Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Thursday announced plans to slash the workforce by about 20,000 people, though not impacting, he says, positions reviewing drugs or medical devices, nor inspectors.
We're keenly focused on paring away excess administrators while increasing the number of scientists and frontline health providers.
The White House continuing to cut the federal workforce as President Donald Trump publicly sticks behind his national security advisor and defense secretary. That's despite growing scrutiny over the leak of military plans on the messaging app Signal. This comes as President Trump has pulled the name of his nominee for ambassador to the United Nations. The president on social media said he wanted New York Rep. Elise Stefanik to stay in the House, noting the GOP's very tight majority.
It just reflects that the agenda that Republicans are trying to move through the House at the behest of Elon Musk and Donald Trump does not have the votes right now.
Meanwhile, today, Vice President J.D. Vance is focused on another Trump priority, Greenland, the second couple visiting the U.S. Space Force facility there, as President Trump says he wants the Danish territory under American control for security reasons.
President Trump is preparing to unleash a slew of new tariffs next week as new CBS News polling shows the American outlook on the economy is mixed and steadily growing more pessimistic. The price of food and services remaining the top issue for most Americans. President Trump taking aim at unions with an executive order yesterday aimed at severely weakening them. That order ends collective bargaining for unions representing more than 1 million federal workers. Affected agencies include the Departments of State, Defense, Justice, and Health and Human Services. The American Federation of Government Employees vowing to fight the order in court. Collective bargaining is considered unions' most crucial power. Without it, their ability to protect members is severely limited. Governor Tony Evers is launching a new online portal to help fired federal workers find new jobs here in the Badger State. News 8's Grace Monk has those details.
You know, it's just not a reflection of any of our work or what we're doing.
Government employees are walking a tightrope these days. A walk biologist Tyler Butts knows all too well.
Those positions of a level where you're doing research and at a PhD level are pretty rare and don't come around very often.
He worked for the U.S. Geological Service in La Crosse studying invasive carp in the Mississippi River.
When I got the position, I was super excited. I always had the goal of doing federal science and being a federal scientist.
2 months into his research, he was let go as part of President Trump's federal workforce reductions.
I was devastated. I was expecting to be here in La Crosse and working on this for at least the next 4 years.
Butts recently had the opportunity to return to the USGS, but turned the offer down.
I just feel for the moment it's going to get harder before it gets better and more unstable before it gets stable.
That's why Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers unveiled a new portal designed to connect federal workers with jobs across the state. According to Evers, it will help fill in-demand and difficult-to-fill roles.
It sort of has forced me to do a lot of reconsiderations of what my future career paths are.
But says he's exploring new opportunities and hopes the portal will help others do the same.
These are folks that are super dedicated, passionate, skilled, and want to serve their country. You know, none of us got into, at least on the scientific side of things, to make a paycheck, right? We're passionate about our state's lakes and rivers and what they mean to us and what they mean to everybody else.
Grace Monk, News 8 Now this morning.
You can find the link to the portal on our website. Judge Susan Crawford brought her Common Sense Justice tour to Wausau yesterday. The campaign is making stops in 21 counties across the state. Crawford's tour aims to build support and emphasize the importance of the election.
Our rights are on the line in this election, and that includes everything from women's reproductive freedoms, their rights to make their own choices about, their bodies and their families, to, the fairness of our election, the right to be able to cast your ballot and have it count in Wisconsin.
Her tour continues today in Beloit and Kenosha. Meanwhile, former Governor Scott Walker joined Judge Brad Schimmel on the trail yesterday in Black River Falls. The pair visiting the Cranberry Research Station as part of Schimmel's Save Wisconsin bus tour.
I've never seen people this ramped up about a court race. I mean, normally a lot of attention falls off. They don't get the significance of it. Their motivation is all juiced up right now, and I think this is going to be a high turnout on Tuesday.
Schimmel's running against Crawford for the seat that will decide the court's majority. The Wisconsin Supreme Court election is April 1st. Today is the last day of early voting ahead of Tuesday's election. La Crosse voters, you can cast your ballots at City Hall from 10 to 5 today. Eau Claire residents can do so from 9 to 4. A new homeless shelter opening its doors in Sparta. Family Promise is launching the facility to serve families in need. The shelter will offer eviction prevention and housing stabilization programs. The ribbon cutting also kicks off their capital campaign to improve shelter services. The first phase will use $23,000 to house up to 3 families.
As we see, many families are experiencing homelessness, close to poverty. We have a lot of families in the Alice category. Where one little upset, a car repair or something, could cause them to go through an eviction, lose their housing, and just a lot of overall instability.
Last year, Family Promise assisted 87 local families. The time now is 6:12. Still to come for us, federal workers flooding the job market after agency cuts, global leaders threatening retaliation over Trump's latest tariffs, and Hollywood's employment crisis deepens. And from higher inflation on the horizon to businesses scaling back on hiring, economic uncertainty is fueling pessimism. We'll take a closer look. For now, leaving you with a live look at Bangkok, Thailand. This is where crews are still working to rescue at least 43 workers and several other civilians after a 7.7 magnitude earthquake caused a skyscraper under construction to collapse overnight. Both Thailand and Myanmar have issued emergency declarations as they work to assess the damage and, of course, find people, rescue people. A developing situation that we will continue to monitor and keep you updated on. Stay with us. We're back after this.
During the 4-day sale at Home Furniture, get up to an extra 10% off sale prices on your favorite furniture and mattresses. Like this queen bedroom suite or this reclining sofa, each just $17.99. Hurry, the Home Furniture 4-day sale ends Monday.
It's tournament time at Osseo Automotive, and the savings are giant.
And so is the selection.
Get a giant $12,000 off a new Ford F-150 XLT Crew Cab, or $11,000 off a new 2024 Ford Expedition Max XLT, or $7,000 off a new 2024 Ford Escape.
You'll never see anything this big again.
The giant tournament sale is going on now at Osseo Ford, Nels Gunderson Chevrolet, Fountain City Ford, and Rudy's in Whitehall.
No matter where I seat my guests, they seem to like the kitchen best. A kitchen's the heart of the home. It should be warm and welcoming. It should be attractive and functional. But it can be a real challenge unless you come here where you can meet with a designer, find all of the products that you need, and trust the project to our carpenters, plumbers, and electricians. For kitchens, bathrooms, and other home improvements, put your trust in the Board Store Home Improvements. Contact us today.
This is our home. Family and Children's Center has been supporting families in La Crosse and Winona for over 140 years. As time has gone by, we've expanded our services to include abuse prevention, mental health treatment, and so much more. Visit fcconline.org to see how our nearly 30 programs are strengthening communities throughout western Wisconsin and southeastern Minnesota. Better tomorrows start with us.
Breaking news tonight, President Donald Trump is officially weighing in.
Trump has endorsed Brad Schimmel in the race for Wisconsin Supreme Court. Trump called the election, quote, very important.
And Trump's right. If we elect Susan Crawford to the Supreme Court, none of the good that he's trying to do nationally will trickle down to Wisconsin. I think the stakes have never been higher.
That's Trump's message to Wisconsin. This election is so important. Please get out and vote for Wisconsin's Brad Schimmel.
To everyone who believes in tradition, come enjoy a few of ours from Wisconsin.
People in Wisconsin love a good fish fry.
Really love. And we love sharing it with guests everywhere.
At Culver's, we still batter our North Atlantic cod by hand to order.
And we cook it to a crispy, golden perfection just for you.
For you.
For you.
So it's crispy outside, flaky inside.
Let us take care of you. With some homegrown traditions we were raised on.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Don't miss the 4-day mattress sale now at Home Sleep Express. Get an extra 10% off sale prices on Luxuria and Thomas Cole Sleep. Get this Aurora Queen or this Jewel Pillow Top Queen, your choice for just $8.99. The 4-day mattress sale ends Monday at Home Sleep Express.
All right, let's get in your forecast. Early storms this morning, then record heat on the way. Then we're going to get into this. The weekend, we've got rain, snow, then hail, sleet associated with that as well, then storms possible as well, similar to what we've seen today. Next week, we get into snow, rain, hail, and sleet in the forecast with cooling temperatures on the way. Let's take a quick gander of what I've got going on for you here, what's cooking. We've got here again as we go into the highs for today, 55 to 65, 70s and 80s in the picture, those low 80s, 82 for La Crosse, 72 for Eau Claire, and we're also holding on to at least 79 as you get into Prairie du Chien, Lansing about 80. We'll take it into La Crosse today. What you've got, 30% chance of rainfall. That's how we started out this morning. We'll continue to do that, and then by the 9 o'clock hour, we should be done. Cloudier skies becoming partly cloudy in the daytime. You see that all the way into the 3 o'clock hour, and of course, we're going to see these get out of the way as well as we go right into Eau Claire. You're looking at temperatures holding on to 7 a.m. We're looking at mostly cloudy skies becoming cloudy. We'll see more of that cloudier skies coming in with some sunshine, getting back into temperatures that are holding on into the 60s and the 70s for you. Getting back to more rainfall coming back in at the 6 o'clock hour if you didn't see that. 82 degrees expected today. Most of these temperatures are going to sag on down into the 50s and the 40s. We're also looking at the highs for Saturday as we get into it. 42, mostly low, middle, upper 40s, some 50s down to the south. La Crosse at 54, Eau Claire at least 46. We're going to get some rain and snow mix out of this as well as we finish out, and that'll also bring in some hail, some thunderstorm activity as well. As we finish out going into it, this is the rainfall I was expecting today. If I trace to about 3/4 of an inch getting to our forecast. More about your local news coming up as well with your local forecast coming up in just a moment. Stick around.
In your morning consumer news, new data showing a spike in job applications from agencies impacted by DOGE. That comes as uncertainty around Trump's economic agenda may be clouding businesses' decision making and slowing hiring. Job seekers are entering a labor market that experts say is a little frozen. According to the Labor Department, more federal workers are filing for unemployment. Some U.S. trade partners say they plan to retaliate if President Trump follows through with new auto tariffs. The 25% duties on foreign assembled vehicles take effect April 3rd. Tariffs on imported parts follow by May 3rd. Making it in Hollywood appears harder than ever. Entertainment jobs are still 25% below their peak in 2022, and this appears to be a new normal, meaning Hollywood may never recover from the writers and actors strikes of 2023. Other impacts on the numbers include the pandemic and the end of peak streaming. Americans see higher inflation on the horizon, and some businesses are scaling back hiring. Economic uncertainty is fueling pessimism. Karen Kafa is in Washington with what consumers need to know about the economic road ahead.
Consumers expect inflation to move higher again, according to the Conference Board's latest Consumer Confidence Index, which just dipped to its lowest level in more than 4 years. Meanwhile, a survey by Duke University and the Federal Reserve Banks of Richmond and Atlanta found 1 in 4 U.S. businesses scaling down hiring plans because of the turmoil around President Donald Trump's tariff wars. Now, stagflation worries have become part of the economic chat.
High inflation and high unemployment go hand in hand during stagflation.
David Halliday, Associate Professor of Strategic Management and Public Policy at the George Washington University School of Business, says stagflation would put the Federal Reserve in tricky territory. Lowering interest rates to spark the economy could further drive inflation, but higher interest rates.
If they raise interest rates, they risk putting the brakes on the economy, making sure that the economy is very slow to recover.
The current uncertainty around prices and hiring ramping up recession talk, a scenario where the economy shrinks for a prolonged period of time.
Businesses aren't producing as much, they're not investing, so they're not buying from each other, and consumers aren't buying their products in the end. Most concerning, as always, is the increase in unemployment.
For right now, financial experts advise households to find some peace of mind by taking control where possible, like how much goes into emergency savings and how much gets spent on major purchases.
High inflation and high unemployment go hand in hand during stagflation, as you heard them say in that story. We'll send it over now to News 8 meteorologist Art Jarrett.
All right, on a lighter note, we could see the potential for record-breaking temperatures for us. 82 we could reach today for La Crosse, beating the record back in 1986. That was 80 degrees. We're also looking at the record potential for Eau Claire is 80 degrees, but they're going to only reach about 72 degrees in the forecast. Why? Because we have more rain and snow up to the north. Slowly but surely, that's going to track in and, of course, knock the temperatures down a bit with some breezy and gusty winds getting up to at least 30 miles per hour. Hey, check this out. As we get into the day, you can see the highs. Temperatures up there by Ladysmith, 55. 72 for Eau Claire. Then we get into 82 for La Crosse, holding on to more of those low 80s, some upper 70s mixed in there as well, extending all the way out to Sparta and Viroqua, doing the same to you there, holding on to this rainfall as we kick into the 7 o'clock hour. Most of that rainfall that we experienced this morning pretty much sneaking out as you get into areas by Marshfield, Volkfield, and Boscobel, and out it goes. By the noon hour, a little light rainfall up to the north, no big deal, with a little bit of cloud cover holding on there. You're looking at mostly cloudy to partly cloudy skies, possibly cloudy skies for Eau Claire. You're going to be seeing at least partly cloudy skies for La Crosse. Now, we get into the evening hours for your evening commute. This is what happens. Temperatures in the 60s, you get around 6 o'clock or so, some 70s mixed in there as well. Still, rain and snow up to the north. You can see that pink up there. That's a mix of snow and the rainfall. We'll see that transition to more of a mix of rain and snow with cloud cover sneaking in, light to moderate rainfall associated with that as well, potentially heavy at times. I know that's out of the region. We have the light stuff coming in, some light drizzle to at least some light to moderate rainfall sneaking across the Mississippi River and hanging out. Then we get that big batch coming in overnight as we go right back into Saturday. You see this come in. That's the first round. We've got the light stuff down to the south here. Some of this may not even be reaching the ground, but we'll get into with the rain and snow there along I-94, excuse me, well to the north. Then there's going to be that click. We're starting to see that mix. Rain, snow right there, the mix in the pink. We'll also see the light to moderate rainfall over La Crosse. That's getting down to the ground. As this rainfall continues to increase and develop, we're going to see more lightning and thunderstorm activity possibly moving into the forecast area. Temperatures in the 30s and the 40s, so that could be thunder, snow potentially. Then eventually getting into another batch coming in the 6 o'clock hour for the night, going into Saturday. A lot of folks having some good old times, but that mix of rain and snow as the area of low pressure sneaks in. We've got the snow eventually going to win out, but you can still see hail, sleet, all that all mixed into this and continuing on with light to moderate rainfall despite the snow and the mix moving in and increasing. That shakes down, or at least drops down over Eau Claire and La Crosse, and then we hold on to that continuing on. You can see as we get into it here, there's a look at the zones coming in for the areas, but I'm going to skip right to the next 8 days and we go right back into how this all plays out. You're going to see most temperatures in the 80s and the 70s today, carrying over into warmer conditions today. 20% chance during the day, 80% chance going into night and overnight. We'll hold on to a Sunday. You're looking at 60% chance with more rain and snow continuing all the way into Tuesday, Wednesday, and then possibly coming back Thursday and Friday of next week.
Thank you, Art. When we come back, are you blaming your phone for distractions? A new study says you might be the problem. We'll explain after the morning sports blitz.
Coming up next in the Blitz, day of openers, the first home game of the season for UWL and game 1 of 162 for the Brewers against the reigning AL champs. Keep it right here.
Brad Schimmel would ban abortions with no exceptions for rape or incest or the mother's health, and jail doctors who perform them. You have the right to make your own health care decisions. Don't let Brad Schimmel take that right away.
I did know that back pain, foot pain come along with the job of waiting tables, but since getting the arch supports from the Good Feet store, I have had no pain. I'm more positive. It's like opening up a whole new life, like sunshine coming out.
See how we can help you too at the Good Feet store.
Style or substance? Somehow, it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Or get 0.9% APR on 2025 Sierra 1500 models. Or get over $5,300 total value on select Sierra 1500 models.
If your home is looking drab, trade it in. Trade it in. The furniture's old and yucky, trade it in. Trade it in. If you're seeking a solution, then King's your resolution. If you're tired of your look, then trade it in. Trade it in.
At King's Trade-In Sale, trade in your old recliner for $50 towards a new one. Trade in your old sofa for $100. Trade in your old mattress for $75. Plus, get free delivery and 12 months no interest payments at the King Furniture Trade-In Sale. Trade it in.
The new Nacho Taco Bravo from Taco John's. Our famous beef crispy taco wrapped in a soft tortilla, all held together by refried beans and warm nacho cheese. This is Nacho Average Taco. Get two for just $6 only at Taco John's.
Brad Schimmel would ban abortions with no exceptions for rape or incest or the mother's health, and jail doctors who perform them. You have the right to make your own health care decisions. Don't let Brad Schimmel take that right away.
Welcome to the Blitz. Well, after a 9-2 start in trips to California and Florida, the UWL baseball team returned to Copeland for their home opener yesterday, riding a 7-game win streak. Beautiful day for some baseball in La Crosse. Eagles hosting UW Stout. Fast start for the southpaw Owen DePrez of UWL, striking out 5 of the first 6 Blue Devils that he faced. He finished with 10 Ks on the day. First ups for La Crosse, and they strike first. George Seaman keeps swinging a hot bat as his fly ball into right center will fall. Nate Whitty comes around to make it 1-0 home side. Then in the third, Eagles looking to get some cushion in a big way. Bases loaded for Andrew Rakovic. Gets one he likes, and he knows what to do with it. That one clears the right field wall. And how about 16 runs in your return to your home ballpark? La Crosse takes down Stout in game 1 of the doubleheader, 16-2. Well, season number 57 for the Brewers getting underway yesterday. Milwaukee gets the pleasure of opening up the 2025 campaign against the AL champs, the New York Yankees. Not an ideal start to this season for the Crew, as before Freddie Peralta even throws a strike, the leadoff hitter for New York, Austin Wells, lifts one out that barely clears that short porch in right. Then in the second inning, Peralta 1 out away from getting out of the inning before Anthony Volpe goes the other way, and that one is just barely going to have enough juice to leave the yard as well. That doubles the Yankees' lead. Good response in the third. This guy swinging a hot bat in spring training, carrying it over the regular season. Vinny Capra with his first big league home run. And let's pick things up in the ninth. Brewers in striking distance in the ninth, but Jackson Churio will strike out for the 5th time in the game with 1 out against Devin Williams. So the last hope for the Brewers is Christian Yelich with a couple ducks on the pond, and the former Brewer strikes him out as well. Some drama late, but the Crew dropped their opener 4-2. Milwaukee, New York will do battle in game 2 on Saturday at noon. That'll do for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
That was funny. Yeah. That's a sick bike.
Boys.
Miss Sanderson?
See you Monday.
No way.
Wisconsin, one of those places where families spend their winters among our frozen lakes and snow-covered hills. With all the fun we're having, it's easy to take for granted how we warm up, by the fire or simply adjusting our thermostat. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? It might be simple to imagine for 60 seconds, but for many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. Freezing temperatures aren't just uncomfortable for them, they can be deadly. Make a real difference by providing a hand up for a neighbor in need. No matter the amount, every dollar helps. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
Breaking news tonight, President Donald Trump is officially weighing in.
Trump has endorsed Brad Schimmel in the race for Wisconsin Supreme Court. Trump called the election, quote, very important.
And Trump's right. If we elect Susan Crawford to the Supreme Court, none of the good that he's trying to do nationally will trickle down to Wisconsin. I think the stakes have never been higher.
That's Trump's message to Wisconsin. This election is so important. Please get out and vote for Wisconsin's Brad Schimmel.
Dental implants are often the best solution to severe dental issues. If you have infection in your mouth, it does cause trouble other places. A lot of people ignore infection for way too long. And when they finally do something about it, they say not only do they like what they did here, but they feel better overall. In the end, you can have a smile you're proud of and a very healthy mouth.
We're an implant-focused practice. If you think you have a full mouth of challenges, come see us. Come down for a free consultation.
It's weird to admit, but it's true. I'm selling Chevys. 2024 Malibus to be exact, starting at $17,890, $299 down and $299 per month. It's Malibu madness. And they feature great options including heated seats, remote start, Apple CarPlay, and up to 36 miles per gallon. All have low miles with remaining factory warranty. But the bad part is these are getting harder to get. So if you're in the market for an affordable ride, come see us today at Chrysler Winona, Highway 61, Winona.
Miss a story or need to watch it again? Find them all on the News 8 Now app. You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
In your morning medical news, if you blame your phone for distractions, a new study suggests the problem might be you. Researchers found people turn to phones during boring tasks, but without them, they'll still find other distractions. The small study tracked just 22 people working on computers. Those without phones nearby simply used their computers for distraction instead. The study's author concludes the real issue isn't our devices, it's our tendency to seek out distractions when faced with tedious tasks. A Minnesota quintuplet born weighing just 8 ounces is considered the second smallest baby ever. Now, after a year in the hospital, he finally gets to go home. Uba Ali shares his story of resilience and care.
Hi, Bilal. Are you going home today?
When you look at Bilal, you see a baby with an oxygen mask.
Are your brothers and sisters coming today?
What you don't see is his struggle to survive. To truly understand the miracle of Bilal, we have to go back in time to a year ago.
It's an extraordinarily rare phenomenon.
The quintuplets, born at 23 weeks, was more than just rare. It made their survival unlikely. The biggest weighing in at just a pound, the tiniest, Bilal, at 8 ounces.
Second smallest baby in the world, described in this tiniest baby registry.
For the team at Children's Minnesota, Bilal's case was historic. Dr. Thomas George, the medical director of neonatology, says the odds of all 5 surviving was around 10%.
The kids overcame extraordinary odds.
You can see in these photos just how tiny he was, hooked up to machines in the NICU.
I didn't think he was going to make it. We were living by the hour, and by the grace of God, he is here.
For years, Hawa Muhammad dreamed of being a mother.
I was always hopeful I'd be a mom. God finally gave me 5.
Her miracle babies now finally all together under one roof. As she takes the last baby home exactly a year to the day after she welcomed them into the world.
All praise to God. I'm very happy today because my children and I are healthy and going home.
And the team that helped them beat the odds.
All the staff here helped me a lot. They were there for me and helped me raise my children.
So sweet and tiny. Are helping them celebrate their incredible journey and birthday.
Thank you.
So much strength all around. Wow. And it's been more than a decade since the neonatal team at Children's Minnesota Hospital has cared for quintuplets. A UWL professor sharing her groundbreaking research at Pearl Street Books. Assistant Professor Melina Packer discussed her new co-authored book, Feminism in the Wild. The work examines how human bias influences our understanding of animal behavior. Packer then led a thought-provoking conversation on how cultural ideas have reinforced oppressive systems throughout society.
So we teamed up to write this book about all the ways that our sort of human cultural norms can shape how we understand animals, and not always in a good way.
Higher reproductive output. Packer signed copies of her book after the discussion. Happening this weekend, celebrate the creativity of the Chippewa Valley at the Heyday Center's 61st annual Spring Art Show opening. The show will run for 3 weeks if you miss this weekend's opening. And experience Ho Chunk Founding Day tomorrow at the La Crosse Center with grand entries at noon and 7. Catch Spring Pops at Viterbo featuring Chris Brubeck's bass trombone concerto with the La Crosse Symphony Orchestra. The No Man's Land Film Festival celebrates fearless women at the Rivoli tonight. This unique showcase features films about empowered women and gender-diverse individuals in adventure and exploration.
I think this whole series shows that, yes, you know, of course be prepared, of course be ready, but that you can go out as a woman and explore just as much as a man can and live that kind of life.
9 inspiring films begin at 6 tonight. Admission is free. We'll send it over now to meteorologist Art Jarrett. He's got a look at our morning commute.
Okay, the weather guy will be there in just a second. As soon as this kicks in, we're going to see that rain and storms are a possibility as we get in today. That will continue on, and that's what we're looking at, the possibility of getting that rain and snow into your forecast. And of course, slowly but surely, I'm sorry this is going to take a while to get back in here. There it is. Storms come in this morning. They're ticking out, going eastward slowly but surely. Eau Claire just got into this about maybe 20 minutes ago, and they're holding on to that, some good-looking rainfall. We've got it all the way down by Black River Falls, extending all the way down to the portions of the eastern portions of La Crosse, and they're getting out of that right now, tracking to Shelby and Toma. We have above normal temperatures as well. Once we get into the afternoon, we'll get into partly cloudy skies. Here's a look at that rainfall right now, and there it goes right across La Crosse. From La Crosse all the way down to Prairie du Chien, there was a good line of hail associated with this as well. That tracked out of the area and now continues to move alongside with it. There it goes right there with the hail down to the south. All right, so back up to the north, we're looking at more of that rainfall and snow kind of coming back again. That mix of rain and snow continues to move a little bit closer. From this, as we go into tonight, we have a marginal risk for severe weather that continues all the way to stretch across the area. La Crosse is just nipped by that. You can see the rainfall and forecast coming into Alaska. That's what's happening out there right now, but a beautiful view with Eau Claire. And a little bit of light wind out there right now, but the roadways are wet, but everybody's chugging along, doing pretty well. Current temperatures for you, 30s, 40s, and of course, near 50-degree heat. When I come back, I'll give you a view of the snowfall that is going to move into our area and stick around all the way into possibly next week. Back to you.
Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
All right, Fred is turning 88 years old. He loves to spend time with his friends, family, and of course, along the Blue River Farm.
Dean is turning 8. He loves Minecraft, dinosaurs, and playing with his little brother Harrison.
How about Kylie? She's turning 8. She loves to read and play with her older brother and her baby sister.
Happy birthday. If you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88, we'd love to feature them.
That's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab on our website.
Foodie Friday hitting the road at Wesco Home Furnishings in Sparta this week. Learn the secret to nearly a century in business and check out their new kitchen shop after the break.
Brad Schimmel would ban abortions with no exceptions for rape or incest or the mother's health, and jail doctors who perform them. You have the right to make your own health care decisions. Don't let Brad Schimmel take that right away.
Beware of getting mortgage information and mortgage rates online. I get a lot of home buyers that get their mortgage information online or get a pre-approval letter from a computer. I can tell you that talking to someone with over 30 years of experience, that everyone's situation is different, and sticking to a lender that has my experience is important to your financial future.
Everybody's welcome at Firefighters Credit Union.
It's time to gear up for the season at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, your spring weather headquarters. Rain or shine, we've got the value you need to get your spring projects underway. Right now, select Miracle Grow Potting Mix $14.99, $12.99 for rewards members. Estate Premium 4-in-1 Lawn Treatment $49.99. And 20-pound bags of Blaine's Black Oil Sunflower Seed just $9.99 for rewards members. In-store or online, find the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Breaking news tonight, President Donald Trump is officially weighing in. Trump has endorsed Brad Schimmel in the race for Wisconsin Supreme Court. Trump called the election, quote, very important.
And Trump's right.
If we elect Susan Crawford to the Supreme Court, none of the good that he's trying to do nationally will trickle down to Wisconsin. I think the stakes have never been higher.
That's Trump's message to Wisconsin. This election is so important. Please get out and vote for Wisconsin's Brad Schimmel.
As I deteriorated, I needed something that would allow me to go from floor in the garage to floor in the home. Jason helped introduce to me all sorts of accessibility equipment. I have no questions about credibility and research. Personally, if somebody was asking me, I would say, here's who I would call.
Hi, I'm Jason with Access Elevator. Stop in and see us today.
Increase your home's energy efficiency and enjoy year-round comfort with Asher Lasting Exteriors. Our windows and doors combine quality craftsmanship and cutting-edge innovation from the trusted brand of Renewal by Andersen. Join us for our spring open house Friday and Saturday, April 4th and 5th at either showroom in Eau Claire or Onalaska. Enjoy super spring savings with up to 25% off your entire project. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for up to 12 months at Asher Lasting Exteriors.
Brad Schimmel would ban abortions with no exceptions for rape or incest or the mother's health, and jail doctors who perform them. You have the right to make your own health care decisions. Don't let Brad Schimmel take that right away.
All right, rainfall is heading on out of the area now, slowly but surely. We had a good run this early morning. It was a nice little light show. You could see across the Mississippi. It really came in just around the 3 o'clock hour and then kind of swept across the area here locally, and it had a nice little punch to it. Now you can see it's kind of getting into a nice little arcing motion there, so it's starting to see maybe a little strength moving into the picture, coming up out of Iowa, picking up a little extra oomph. In fact, we'll keep an eye on that, but it's almost done and over the lake. We're looking at temperatures in the 70s and 80s today, holding on to record-breaking temperatures in our forecast today. As you can see, 82 degrees expected for our high today in La Crosse, beating a record possibly as we get into at least 80 degrees for back in 1986. Eau Claire, maybe not so much doing that today because they're only going to reach about 72 degrees. We have that rainfall kicking out slowly but surely by the 7 o'clock hour, and as we get into it, you're going to see more of that moisture kind of moving up to the north. You see that going all the way up along I-94 there and extending up into Ladysmith with a little bit of light rainfall, becoming light to moderate rainfall and getting into some mix of rain and snow as well to other areas like Rhineland. We have down here some lighter rainfall coming in to finish out, but it will pick up, getting into light to moderate rainfall, as you can see as we slide right into the 11 o'clock hour. Light to moderate rainfall continues up to the north as well along I-94 and folks to the east of that. We'll also see snow punching in as we go right into the overnight and into the early morning hours. You can see that by 6 a.m. by sunrise. Light stuff right now, trying to get light to moderate, but it'll start to increase as we go into the 10 o'clock hour. So from 4 all the way up to about 10 o'clock, we're seeing this rainfall increase, getting down to the ground. Light to moderate rainfall, potentially with a thunderstorm actually in there as well. We'll see that continue on possibly again for La Crosse, maybe light to moderate to near heavy rainfall, similar to what we had today, and then continue all the way up with more of that coming back again. A big batch coming in, Red Wing, smacking them with a lot of good rainfall there. Minneapolis, you're in that as well with the mix of rain and snow to the north. Then this continues to drag over across the Mississippi River, and then eventually we'll see that here for La Crosse at 9 o'clock, spilling into La Crosse as well, and that will continue to really deepen. What we're looking at for today, though, we have temperatures that are going to be in the 80s, some 70s, some 50s, and 60s mixed in there. You'll see that as we go to Shelby, looking around, say, 81, 82 degrees. Then we'll get down to Prairie du Chien. They're at 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. We'll get up to the north central zone here. You're going to see Blair at 79. We'll pick up Alma City at 75, 77 or so as you get right into Cotton, and then right into La Crosse, 82 degrees for you. Back up to the north, we're looking at areas by Ladysmith, about 55 degrees, 72 for Altoona, 73 once you get into Fall Creek and Eau Claire, about 72 degrees for you. Then we have the rainfall associated with this as we go into the next few days here, a couple of days I should say. We're looking at the possibility of some good looking rain coming in. I showed you this already. This is when that thunderstorm potential comes back again, and then we'll see that bring in at least up to about, say, a few inches of rainfall possibly in the forecast. As far as snow is concerned, most of that stays well up to the north. They could see maybe up to about 3 to 4, maybe 5, 6 inches of snow. Everybody else is about 1 to 3 or less. We'll go into how this all shakes out as you give me a second or two to show you how this 8-day shows up. You're going to get rain and snow for the weekend, and then eventually it all continues into next week. Be safe.
Foodie Friday is on the road this week. We are in Sparta at Wesco, where inside you'll find a specialty kitchen shop. We are at Hazel and Lola's, joined by Andrew now. Good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
Yes, it's nice to see you. So people may know that Wesco's here, but they may not know what lies inside. What can you tell us about Hazel and Lola's?
So Hazel and Lola's opened in August. We are a kitchen boutique for people of all ages and skill levels. We have gadgets, gizmos, pots, pans, bakeware, brands like Le Creuset, Wusthof, Made In, Viking, and many, many more.
Okay, so high-end, kind of middle, a little bit of something for everyone.
Absolutely, yeah.
Great.
I'm getting so many different fragrances here. It's the olive vinegar, oil and vinegar wine bar here. Is that what this is, or not?
Yeah.
Wine bar?
Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, so we have a wide selection of both infused olive oils and balsamic vinegars, made in Montana, imported from Italy. We offer 4 different sizes. You can go from a 100 milliliter bottle up to a 750 to take home.
Okay.
And we encourage people to try different flavors. We have them out every single day for sample.
Yeah, okay, and we've got some of those today. You have a lot of flavors, but you've given us kind of, these are look like they're seasonal, right, for spring?
A little bit more springy.
Okay,
we
great.
have a blood orange olive oil.
Here you go, all right.
And then a vine ripened raspberry balsamic as well.
Yeah, nice. Okay. And people can come and they can, you said that the bottles are right there, so you can kind of come and try it for yourself.
Absolutely. And we fill to order. So if you want a different size, we've got them here. We'll fill them up for you. And then every Saturday, we also offer samples of showcasing different equipment, different spices and things like that you can come in, try everything out, and really just experience what you can do with the things coming from Hazel and Lola's.
All right. And something interesting that you can also do with the olive oil, just in time for summer. What have you got
we
for
actually
us?
offer it up on ice cream as well. So I've got both of those flavors over ice cream for you guys to try.
Yeah, it looks great there. It's like a pre-summer treat.
Yes.
Who's going to go first?
Oh my goodness, wow.
Tastes good?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That is something else.
Yeah, it's like a little bit of a cheesecake.
Yeah, gives
the
you a
two
little bit of
flavors
that
together.
vibe, absolutely.
I like it. It's like
Yeah.
a summer cheesecake. Okay, and so people looking to upgrade their kitchen essentials, pots, pans, you've got that covered too.
Absolutely. Come on in. We've got a great staff that's going to understand your needs, your capabilities, and really find the thing that's going to work best for you. Also, if you have something specific in mind that you saw it on TikTok or you saw it somewhere else that you want to get that and you want to make that recipe or whatnot, come on in. We're going to be able to help you dig through our catalog and our inventory and find that perfect product for you.
So it's okay to spend a little time here and take your time and enjoy and browse?
Absolutely. We encourage it. There's a lot of things to see in here. Come on in, browse the aisles, and really just see what we're all about.
Okay, and then you've got some gourmet foods too.
Absolutely. So we have a wide assortment of bread mixes, jams, jellies, spices, all sorts of things for you to come in and try out and see what we got going on.
Okay, great. And it does seem like, some people may be intimidated by a big kitchen shop like this, but it does seem like you guys are here to help, get your feet wet, touch things, don't be afraid to come and try it out.
Absolutely, yeah. We're here for all levels. So whether you're just starting out, we've even had some kiddos come in saying they want to try to make, this pasta or something like that, that we can definitely help you out and show you around.
I walked in the front door and I wanted to open up one of those stoves over there, the ovens, It's like beautiful.
And
He's
that
like
too.
a kid in a candy shop, yeah.
Yep.
And events, you guys do events as well.
Yeah, so we're actually coming up at the end of April. We're going to be doing a Cinco de Mayo event where we're going to have a margarita flight, show you how to make your own tortillas, pico de gallo, and guacamole.
Okay.
Give us a call here at Hazel and Lola's. Get that signed up. It's $50 a person, and we'll be showing off and having a good time.
Okay, sounds great. All right, well, thank you so much for being with us on this Foodie Friday. Great to see you, Andrew.
Thank you.
Stay with us. We're back right after this. We've got some shopping to do, Art.
Oh, man. And eating.
Yeah.
Brad Schimmel would ban abortions with no exceptions for rape or incest or the mother's health, and jail doctors who perform them. You have the right to make your own health care decisions. Don't let Brad Schimmel take that right away.
Hello, I'm Christy Halenka, Reading Program Chair at Viterbo University. Viterbo is proud to serve our area communities by providing programs that produce quality educators and leadership in our schools. Viterbo University is once again partnering with News 8 to recognize outstanding classroom teachers in the area. We look forward to working with generations of teachers and change agents for years to come. Do you know a top-notch teacher? Then go online to news8000.com or write to this address.
Let's create your dream home at our area's only home show from the La Crosse Area Builders Association. The only home show where you'll meet over 100 businesses ready to make your home remodel dreams happen. Basement to roof, front yard to back. The only home show with Friday date night, Saturday community day, and Sunday family day. Details are at labahomeshow.com. The LABA Home Show is sponsored by XL Energy and Olson Solar Energy, March 28th through the 30th at the Onalaska Omni Center.
Freedom is the ability to choose the path that makes you happy. Start down your path today in a Jeep.
Save over 10% off MSRP plus discounts on a 2024 Jeep Wrangler today during the Jeep Celebration Sales Event. Redesigned exterior elements and updated features offer a refreshed take on the original icon of adventure, Jeep Wrangler. This offer ends March 31st.
My last name is Pischke, and that's where you can find your Jeep. Pischke Motors West Salem or Pischke Motors La Crosse.
This is Tony, and this is Tony's Good Feet story.
I did know that back pain, foot pain come along with the job. Before my arch supports, I felt defeated, but since getting the arch supports from the Good Feet store, I'm more positive.
Clinically proven, significant pain relief in only 4 weeks.
It's like opening up a whole new life, like sunshine coming out. I would recommend it to anyone.
Take back the life you love and book your personalized arch support fitting today.
In 1925, a new furniture store opened its doors in Fountain, Minnesota. The business was called the Fountain Furniture Company. Today, 100 years and 4 generations later, we're Drury's, where you'll find a focus on principles that have given us staying power. Handle quality furniture, maintain a professional staff, and a commitment to customer service. We invite you to stop in and find out for yourself how this big store in a tiny town has lasted. Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota, family owned for 100 years.
Brad Schimmel would ban abortions with no exceptions for rape or incest or the mother's health, and jail doctors who perform them. You have the right to make your own health care decisions. Don't let Brad Schimmel take that right away.
The First Warn Weather app. Download it today.
Welcome back. It's 6:53. Time for your morning news now. Interstate 94 near Black River Falls is closed right now due to a semi-fire. As we take a live look at the scene, according to WisDOT, the fire broke out about 5 this morning, shutting down all lanes between U.S. Route 12 and County Road O. WisDOT expecting the interstate to be closed for about 2 hours. They're telling drivers to exit onto County Road O and take U.S. Route 12 north until it reconnects with I-94. Life in prison for the Minnesota man accused in a 50-year-old Dunn County murder case. 84-year-old John Miller pleaded no contest to the murder of Mary Shalais. She was hitchhiking from Minneapolis in 1974 when Miller picked her up, stabbed her multiple times, then hit her body in a snowbank. DNA research broke the cold case last year.
This case is a reminder that justice has no time limit, and to families still searching for the truth, let Mary's story be a testament that persistence, science, and dedication can bring long-awaited closure.
Miller did not make a statement in court. President Trump withdrew his nomination of Republican Congresswoman Elise Stefanik of New York to be the ambassador to the UN. He said her vote is critical to advancing the Trump agenda in the White House, where the GOP has a razor-thin majority. Vice President J.D. Vance and his wife, Second Lady Usha, will travel with a U.S. delegation to the Pichufik Space Base in Greenland today. The visit comes as President Trump has repeatedly said he wants the U.S. to take control of that country, which is the world's largest island, for what he says are national security reasons. Governor Evers is opening Wisconsin's doors to thousands of recently fired federal workers. His newly launched portal will connect these employees with Wisconsin jobs, research opportunities, and unemployment benefits. Evers says these workers will help fill in-demand and difficult-to-fill roles across the state.
These are folks that are super dedicated, passionate, skilled, and want to serve their country. You know, none of us got into at least on the scientific side of things, to make a paycheck, right? We're passionate about our state's lakes and rivers and what they mean to us and what they mean to everybody else.
We have a link to the portal on our website. Today's the last day of early voting ahead of Tuesday's election. La Crosse voters can cast their ballots at City Hall from 10 to 5. Eau Claire residents can vote at City Hall from 9 to 4. Happening this weekend, celebrate the creativity of the Chippewa Valley at the Heyday Center's 61st annual Spring Art Show opening. The show will run for 3 weeks if you can't make it to Sunday's reception. Experience Ho Chunk Founding Day tomorrow at the La Crosse Center with grand entries at noon and 7. Doors open at 9 a.m. Catch Spring Pops at Viterbo featuring Chris Brubank's bass trombone concerto with the La Crosse Symphony Orchestra tomorrow at 7:30.
All right, we just experienced a 40% chance of rainfall that led into the overnight hours into the early morning. That's now ticked off a little bit more to the east. Now we're down to about a 10% chance. That's why you're not seeing anything on Friday. And of course, as we get into Friday night, though, it's going to pick up. We'll see that continue to move on going into tonight and Saturday and Sunday, where we have that rain and snow mix pretty much taking over, leading us into Monday and Tuesday with more rain and snow possibilities, and then carrying over into Wednesday with another batch coming back with possibly another round coming in for Thursday and Friday.
A Pennsylvania woman struck gold with a $12 thrift store purchase. The drawing appears to be an original work by French Impressionist master Pierre-Auguste Renoir. Despite being an art appraiser herself, she's seeking official authentication. The prestigious Wildenstein Platner Institute will now examine the 19th century artwork. If experts confirm its authenticity, the $12 investment could be worth thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands.
Hundreds of thousands, yeah.
How come I can never find anything like that, you know?
You never know.
I never know. Fingers crossed. There's still time. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here at noon.